Well, I had been doing child exploitation cases for a number of years, and at that point we had seen children being traded or bartered on the internet. And the thought was, if this is happening there may be some aspect of child sex trafficking going on in the area. The initiative was started, it was assigned to me. Law enforcement agents thought it probably isn't here. Human trafficking is modern day slavery. It is a very subtle crime. It lives in the shadows and the dark corners of our community, and it isn't something that is just out on the streets in the way you traditionally would investigate or prosecute an offense. So we have the commercial sex trafficking, we have forced labor trafficking. Under those umbrellas, we have domestic victims, U.S. victims, and then we have male and female victims, and we can have child or adult victims. The fact that it's going on in Kansas City, Missouri, and St. Louis, in the state of Missouri, is troubling. When we first started the task force, part of me wanted it to be successful because we wanted the initiative to be successful. The other part of me wanted us to find nothing. The GLS case, the Giant Labor Solutions case, it was a forced labor trafficking case. The victims were brought into the United States on fraudulent visas. The victims thought they were coming in here on proper visas. Then after they arrived in the United States, they were told, actually no, you're not in status, you're out of status, you're going to do what we say, you're going to work where we assign you, you're not going to get paid. And if you don't cooperate, then we're going to have you deported as a criminal. They were running a sophisticated, organized crime ring doing this, making a ton of money, and placing these individuals in unknowing motels and hotels throughout the area. It was an organized crime group predominantly from Uzbekistan, and the headquarter office was right here in Westport off of the plaza in Kansas City, Missouri. They were running victims through 16 different states in the United States, but they were running the entire operation out of Westport, off of the plaza. Everyone was shocked by that. After one of our large-scale raids, the victims, as a part of our victim-centered approach, we make sure, even if they're out of status and they're not legally in the United States, we don't arrest them. They are taken to a hotel, they're provided food, shelter, clothing. After that assessment is done and we were able to say that you qualify as a victim of human trafficking, you're eligible to receive continued presence in the United States. We had some men that would jump up, do a dance. I had a woman that jumped up on her chair, that was reaching over and hugging us. But it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to say, welcome to our country, you're going to get to stay. Very first victim that I worked with, I have a feather actually in my office. She lived in kind of a poverty-stricken area in Missouri, and she found this perfect white feather, and she gave me that feather. I have it to this day in my office. She just said, thank you. Hush Blackwell offered a new opportunity to come here and not just continue my work in human trafficking, but they responded by taking that dedication and launching a human trafficking pro bono clinic. It is the first of its kind in the country.
She's really everything you want in a lawyer, and even though she's spent her whole legal career before at the government, she seemed incredibly entrepreneurial, and that she was without a whole lot of training or direction or leadership. She was sort of, here, take it. And she did. And she took it, and she achieved terrific results.
Human trafficking is a $32 billion industry, and it's on the rise. The victims are the meek and weak of the world and of our community. I don't think it's an issue that's going away tomorrow. The traffickers are so profitable and so successful. They have more resources than we do to push back. And so I think if more government agencies and more private sector entities were willing to dedicate themselves to the issue, that we actually would make some progress, and that would be a good thing.